Twango Island. Beware to those who cultivate courageous hearts. There are many wonderful places to see across the ocean, but Twango Island should not be one of them. Do not let your curiosity charm you into seeking it out. Only tragedy and doom linger upon that island. Nightmares walk through the jungles like hulking hunters, and the Aoela people are their prey. Once long ago, before the island earned its infamous reputation, it appeared just as desirable as any other island made by Mauryu. Little did the mother goddess know, dark and unspeakable things slithered onto the island after her sons populated it with plants and animals. The dark entities touched the creations of the gods and goddesses and altered them into fascinating monstrosities. One of the tribes of the Aoela people landed upon the shores of this beautiful island. They marveled at the bounty that laid before them and settled on the island, not realizing the dangers it contained. The trees were taller than anything they had ever seen before on the first island. Rather than be normal colors, the plant life had purple and light blue leaves. The bushes were so big and wide that they made traveling through the jungles difficult. Despite the strange colors and size, the Aoela people cut down the trees and used the leaves to build their villages. As soon as they built their homes, the Aoela people discovered that the wood radiated with an otherworldly warmth, which was especially delightful at night. However, during the first night the Aoela people slept in their homes, each and every one of them had terrible nightmares about something lingering in the depths of the colorful jungles. When they awoke the next morning, they shared their stories about the things they saw the night before. When the islanders tried to fish in the lagoons and in the surrounding waters, they discovered that there were no fish to be had. Not only that, but the interesting trees and bushes didn't produce any fruit or edible vegetation either. A great hunger overtook the Aoela people, and so they ventured deeper into the jungles in hopes of finding animals to hunt. As they began to explore the island, the Aoela people became keenly aware that they were being hunted. Gigantic monkeys fell among their number and tore their tribesmen apart. The Aoela people fought back and managed to kill several of the monkeys, but many of their warriors were dragged away into the jungles. Desperate and hungry, the Aoela people took the monkey bodies back to their villages. They feasted on the meat, and it tasted more delicious than anything they had ever eaten. A great sense of satisfaction fell over them, and that night, no one had nightmares. Unfortunately, like with all food, the effects wore off, and the Aoela people became hungry once more. They organized a second hunting party and went back into the jungles. This time, they were ready to face the monkeys, but they were not expecting to face giant boars. As soon as the boars saw the Aoela hunters, they charged with palpable rage. Many of the hunters died, but the Aoela people managed to kill 4 of the boars themselves. They took the boar meat back to the village, told the story of the hunt, and then feasted like gods and goddesses. The boar meat was even more delicious than the flesh of the monkeys, and it lasted for several days. Each and every night that the Aoela people ate the meat, their dreams were nightmare-free. Once all of the boar meat had been eaten, the Aoela hunters went back out. Unfortunately, they were unable to find any food on the first day, or the second, or the third. Their families grew hungrier without anything to eat, and each night they did not consume something, they had the horrific nightmares again. On the fourth day, they realized the meat staved off the nightmares. They had to find something to eat, otherwise they would die. They went back into the woods with urgency in their hearts. The hunters found more animals, who in turn hunted them. There were giant snakes, gigantic hawks, more boars, and armies of monkeys. While the Aoela continued to lose people, the amount of those lost got smaller with each hunting day. The people learned and adapted to their new home, and they became masters on how to kill each and every one of the monstrous creatures. Little did they know something dark watched them from the depths of the jungles. These dark entities had been the ones who corrupted the plant life and animal life, and now they studied the Aoela people greedily. The Aoela people were mighty and powerful, and so the dark entities slipped out of the center of the jungles towards the Aoela villages. On a fateful night, the dark entities slipped into their homes. As the sun rose on the next morning, the process had been completed. What emerged from the huts no longer resembled the Aoela people, but something far more twisted. Whispers of a strange island with brightly colored fauna began spreading among the other Aoela tribes, and many would-be explorers sent out to find it, not knowing of the dangers. Only one person had ever returned from the island, and they were the famed mad navigator, Ugidawa. Ugidawa had visited each and every island in the entire ocean, but after he visited that dreaded place, he became quite insane. He gave the island the name Twango Island, before he drowned himself for grief of losing his friends and fellow explorers on that island. Hear my words, O courageous voyagers. Do not venture to Twango Island or seek it out. If you do, you might entice whatever dwells there to start voyaging for themselves.